What is up, you guys? This is a cluster server video for Ark. Our objective is to try to make it to where server A on a separate network can join server B on a separate network, and it'll make it to where that character can transfer seamlessly between the two. So if you have like a massive PvP server that you want to make, this will make it to where that can happen. Now I'll show a map, a better explanation of that, of the network view of it. So you have a physical server A on network A, physical server B on network B. Now you have an Ark server map 1, Ark server map 2. This is clustered on this one physical machine, and they have a folder that they both share that they both can read and write to. And whenever a character is transferred, it will transfer, go to this folder, then drop down to this other Ark server. Now, what we're doing is we're making it to where both of these folders are basically, these Ark clusters are doing the same thing, and both of these folders get updated the moment anything is put into that folder. So whenever this one is updated with the same exact information simultaneously. And that's where this program called Syncthing, my drawing is bad, makes it to where this program called Syncthing updates it instantly. Every 3 seconds is really what it is, but Ark doesn't know that, and they see it as instant. Now, the programs that you can use to create a server and pull the information for a server: Linux GSM, AMP by Coders, Windows GSM, and Syncthing. The one we will be using is AMP by Coders. Now, AMP by Coders can be used on both Linux and Windows, whichever one you prefer. Windows GSM can be used exclusively by Windows, and the same thing with Linux. Now, Syncthing, we're going to have to download that program to get the server set up for this multi-transfer. It will split the load between the two servers, so it'll make it to where it's not using as much hardware resources on one server. Also, the chapters will be in the description of the video as well. So if you guys want to see them, they'll be down there, and it'll make it to where it's a lot easier to navigate the video. Okay, so this is our server right here on AMP. You can go through the installation process. It's pretty easy. You just pretty much do either a target or hybrid or controller and whatever you want. This is a controller and target setup, so my personal PC is telling what the server to do. So controller and target. Target is the server. Controller is my personal PC. Watermark in the top left will show you that. Now, to set up an Ark server on here, we're going to go here, Ark Ascended, and we're going to name this one 02. And we're going to create it. And it's going to take a little bit to create the server, but once it's created, it'll automatically launch it, and we'll have to configure it to be an exact copy of this server. Now, you will have to do port forwarding in order to get it to work on your network. Now, I can't tell you how to do it because it's depending on how it looks on your router. So, but once that's done, we'll be right back. And we pretty much told it to start on whenever it's finished installing and everything. So it's going to start immediately, and we'll have to jump in there and change a bunch of settings. Now, let's jump in there already. Yep. Yeah, cool. Go over here to ASA, then name this test 02. We're going to change the server to the center because the other one is set up as the island. Scroll down here, and I'd like to change the player limit to 10 because right now this is pretty private, so we ain't really doing anything. I'm not gonna do the password because I have found it has messed up a lot of things when creating the server. We're gonna set the XP multiplier 10, a food drain multiplier. We're gonna set up as 0.0001, just for the sake of this video, to make it to where it's easier to travel from server to server. It's just for traveling purposes. Change your settings to whatever you want them to be. I ain't gonna judge you. It's just gonna take me a little bit here. Quickly scan through here. Okay. Now, one setting you will want to enable, we're going to enable this. Going to come over here. Now, I'm going to come over here and grab the pathway for mine. I accidentally misspelled test. I'm a dummy. That's okay. And what was the cluster ID? I'm going to go back. Turn to instances. Start this one. Jump in there as soon as it lets me. So on the cluster ID, you have to make sure that they match. Otherwise, they won't pop up in the server list in Ark once the servers are online. Big, that didn't take me that long. Clusters, definitely not Ark, is our cluster ID. Here. Big. ASA. Clusters, cluster ID, definitely not Ark. There is a setting you have to enable every time. I'm going to just use Control F real quick. Filter transfers. This setting must be on. We're going to stop. I think I have it disabled on this one too. Yep. You do need to turn that setting on. Otherwise, characters from single player worlds will be able to take their stuff that they've manually added in and transfer it to your servers. And I don't think you guys want that. Unless you're into that, then go for it. Over here, just make sure my settings saved real quick. Yep, it did. Cool. Wingman test 2. Make sure these are in the same naming. Real quick. Oh. Capitalized. Like that. Big 2. And we'll go back. Turn to the instances. Click into this one. Hit update. For some odd reason, it hasn't been updating the name whenever I just hit start. The server is now started. Now that we have started it, we're going to return. This one's running. This one is idle. Go ahead and start both servers. So now we have the cluster set up. Now, if you notice, the directory for this one is going to be C drive cluster text. And as long as both this one and this one are matching on this machine, everything will work. And pretty much we have to do the reverse on B, which my buddy will show you his POV of how he has his setup, but that's pretty much the creation for AMP. We will have to manually open up ports again, but once those ports are open, we should be good to go.
All right, so over on PC, personal PCB, where I'm currently at, I'm going to go ahead and just show you what my end looks like. You guys have already seen personal PCA with their server setup. mine is essentially identical, but just to be safe, so you guys can see what it looks like on my end, um, you go ahead, get your instances set up. You can view both of them right here. I have two, but if you've got more RAM, you could have even more. Turn around, click on here, go to your configuration, and right here you'll turn around and configure your Ark settings to match what you need them to be for your server. So for me, I've got my name here, put the month of the day, or message of the day, apologies. Select your map. Any mods you want to add, you can throw them in here. And then towards the bottom, make sure to turn on filter transfers. This will allow people to transfer properly. And then make sure you turn around and enable clusters. Set your cluster directory and make sure it's set up to match. That way it's a little easy to follow when you connect it to Syncthing. And then use a cluster ID. You'll have to have the cluster ID identical with every PC in the cluster. So for every world. Okay. From there, you can turn around, just make any, settings that you would like on your server for each server. They can be different. I like to keep them all the same, but ultimately it's up to you guys and your experience when you're playing your game. Quick little side note. You'll note that my directory is actually different from server A's directory and how it is currently set up. They don't have to be identical. You just have to have it properly file pathed. So personal PC A's AMP server configuration, theirs could be in whatever drive they would like it, as long as it is set properly. Everything should be able to join together nicely. And now we will transition over to Syncthing to look at that process further.
All right, so this is my personal PC server A. We're downloading a program called Syncthing that we mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video. This is the program that will automatically update everything, update the cluster directory, which is right here slash folder. Now we'll go to downloads here. That is not mine. We'll go to Windows because we're on a Windows machine. Download this one. We've already downloaded it. It'll do it in a zipped folder. We'll extract it wherever you guys prefer. So I just did it in the downloads just for speed. And then we open this program. Once you're done installing it, it will open up a web browser view. And from here, what we need to do is we need to add a folder, copy our directory for our server. I'm going to go up to here. And we're going, actually, right here. We're going to grab this, paste this here, and we're going to label this cluster. And press save, unshared. You notice we haven't shared it to anybody yet. We're going to add a remote device. Blur that out. Now we grab our buddies. Where's it at? All right, we're going to grab his ID and copy that, paste that here. Save. Now to view your ID, you'll click right here. Oh, I need to change the name of this. Name of device, server B. That's what we're going to name it. Save. So now we're going to go to our buddy screen and he's going to record his screen and show what his perspective looks like because we just requested access to his machine to where we can share this folder.
All right, now over on server B, we're going to turn around. We can see now that we have server A's request to add device. So we're going to go ahead and add that device. I'm going to go ahead and name it server A, just so it's easy to tell apart. And I will go ahead and mark it as test Ark Cluster for the cluster we are trying to create. Okay. And I'm going to turn around. I'm going to add it. I'm going to give this a second here to go ahead and update and mark as connected. It is now connected, so we're going to go ahead and transition over back to server A real quick so he can share the folder to us.
Now we're back on server A. We got the connection with server B. Now we're going to go here to this cluster, to the folder that we're sharing. This is my path. Now we're going to have to go back to server B to show their path because their path can be different than ours. We're going to go over here to sharing. I'm going to attempt to share it. We're going to hit save. And then once it syncs up. Now, one thing I will mention on both servers, we will have to go over here to the advanced tab and change this to update every 3 seconds because the server will not play nice on transferring characters over unless it is updated at a rapid rate. So it's saved there.
All right, now back over to server B. You can now see the folder that he has shared over to me on server B. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Take a quick look at it. You want to go ahead and select the file path for this. I already have my file path set up. For me, it's just C drive and then a folder in C drive. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Okay. And then go to your advanced. Make sure you change this to 3 seconds. That way you don't have any timeouts in game when you try to transfer. Everything else should be good to go here, and you just click save. From here, you can go in here and you can take a look into the folder. If you open up the folder now, it will turn around. And you'll be able to see in-game as this updates. So if somebody were to transfer now, you'll see the file updating as it goes, and it's going to update every 3 seconds.
All right.
And so right
server
now,
transfer is going to take off simultaneously. So we're going to have both server personal PC A transfer, and you're going to have a view of server B on the directory of my character transferring. So I'm going to travel. We're going to travel to one of my servers, which is the Wingman, the server A. And now character is transferred. We're going to spawn in, downloading my character. And we're now on server A. All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of the video. That's all I've got left. We showed ourselves transferring from server B, Scorched Earth, to server A, which is on the island. And then after that, it showed the transfer was successful with my character on my network. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys gained some knowledge. And really and honestly, I love those guys at AMP. They have a Discord server and everything. They have a lot of instructional videos. But I'm going to roll the outro. You have a nice one.